Bradley Welsh, due his own Dennis run back at the time, and also to raise money for Edinburgh charities.
Pads, training wise, I'll do that. You put a picture of my mum up on that wall and I'll start right now with your training and I'll do 24 hours. Especially for the nature of what it's for. My wee mum wouldn't have wanted me to just do this as a Guinness World Record for the sake of doing it. It means more to me to raise the money and to give something back to the kids of Edinburgh. Intense. Hard working. He's just all systems go all the time. First impressions, I just were like, wow, this guy's, you know what I mean, he is in your face. A lot of people seem to rely on him. I mean, he deals with, you know, he must have about 30-40 boxers that he deals with. Constant.
I would say if I'm introducing a friend to Bradley, be prepared because he's pretty intense.
He has 100 miles an hour, and when he gets a focus on something, he's very difficult to shake off.
You know, his enthusiasm and energy of itself is infectious, but he's just always so intensely committed to whatever it is he's doing.
I've known Brad now for a number of years, probably more years than I care to remember actually, but he's larger than life. He instantly, you know, makes an impression on you, and I think anybody who paths or crosses paths with Brad in life will always remember him.
Very inspired by, you know, where he's growing up and the people he's grown up with and all that sort of stuff. But he's very inspiring to them as well. You know, he's helped out a lot of people, and you know, one of the things that people don't know about Brad is that he is a really good, loyal friend, and he looks after his friends, and he's the kind of guy who will kind of go the extra mile to help out a friend as well.
The thing about Bradley is that there are always lots of things going on. He does a tremendous amount of work, lots of different things.
There's plenty of people in life who can talk the talk. There's very few people in life who can walk the talk.
Hi there guys,
For those of you that don't know me, my name's Bradley Welsh and I run the Holloway Boxing Gymnasium. My job description is what? Club Development Officer, is what? Chairman, is Chief Bottle Washer, gumshoe carrier, wiping away blood, cleaning the gym.
Coach, gym owner, event organiser.
Trainer, promoter, cornerman.
Is what? Promotion, PR guy.
24 hours of pad work, 360 rounds, 3-minute round, 1 minute in between the rounds. Each person comes on to do their round. They have a sponsorship, so they went round their friends to help raise money for them to sponsor their round.
Boxing pad work is regarded and held as the tool to use to raise the physiology and punch power of boxers. It's very, very hard equally for trainers as well, because you've got to take into account that you're talking all the way through this. You're having to think about it yourself because you're expounding onto somebody. Sometimes people miss, in this case you're holding the pads, but you have to catch these punches. If you hold pads and you don't catch punches, it's almost like an aerobic workout. You've got to imagine that doing this over a period of rounds, it's starting to wear and tear on your, if you're focusing and you're having to constantly call out the shots and think of the combinations and catch them and move them, it's just as hard as actually throwing them. When I tell people what we're going to do, and I don't think they really appreciate what it involves. It's not just like catching the shots, is it? It's not just like doing pad work. It's the talking, it's the walking, it's the expounding of the energy. We're going to do it, we'll have to do it. I'm not going to let these people down, I'm not going to let myself down, the memory of my mum down, and ultimately raising money for these kids, that's it. Just so we got for the Guinness World Records, we need a clear view, and obviously you've got people that are going to be coming and visit the gym, they don't know the space. We're going to walk in front of the camera and stuff like that. We just want a clear vision and stuff like that. And with a long protracted fight with Guinness World Records and what their mandate is to be met with criteria wise. So we just want a nice clear view of the boxers coming in, continuous loop, and that way nobody's going to get into your guys' way. People at the Guinness World Record just couldn't grasp that I wasn't actually in danger at any point. I would just be catching pads, and they actually sent me back a refusal to accept the record attempt. Basically, the chap that I was trying to deal with at the time had no understanding of the sport of boxing, and he couldn't get his head around the fact that I wouldn't be in danger. People look at boxing as a blood sport. It's wrong. There's no injuries in amateur boxing. In Scotland, it's still the wee club in the corner where it's quite Neanderthal training principles. Boxing, it's mere instance of two men hitting each other. Society in general, they're responsible for it because they want to go watch big heavyweight boxers knock 10, 11 bells into each other with blood flowing through the offices, and most people think that's what boxing is. There's more injuries in under 15 school rugby than there is in boxing. But because people are sanitised to watching two guys in a ring killing each other, they think that's boxing, when it's not. Clearly it's not. It was ridiculous. They have people swallowing swords and throwing themselves with bridges, and yet this guy was trying to tell us that because I had boxing in it, that they don't allow dangerous sports or blood sports. Just people in general that have been through the old school brigade that think, oh, it's two guys killing each other. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. We'll break their boundaries. Hopefully this programme will play its part in that as well, you know. Look for the logos, guys. Silver tape. So if you find a name, you just go like that and then just go up in a line with them, yeah? Right, need somebody to grab tape. Piazda. Phil, just look for silver tape, please, mate. If I was a printer, do you think I would do something like that? Right, I'm not going to say it. 6:10, so I've got 50 minutes before I start. Right, another one failure, where you want to grab? Well, that one's ruined, so... Okay, go and just clear. No, we've still got 20 minutes, eh? people have often said I could. What I do, we would like that. We would like you to do that for us. What part of it?
Usually if you're, you know, making a production or doing an event, there's probably teams you delegate tasks to, and, you know, you're in charge of lighting, you're in charge of, you know, entertainment, you're in charge of tickets, blah blah blah. But no, Bradley just he's like standing in the middle of the room going, light and shout, you there.
So, Brad, so what? You're blind, the guys for you get better, isn't it?
Phil, what are you doing?
Go and get a picture of Phil actually doing that. Because that's actually Phil working, look.
I've never met anybody whose phone rings as much as him.
Did you get my text about... Phil, be extra careful today, mate. Remember to use condoms, mate. Bye-bye. In order to raise the profile of amateur boxing, it was clear and distinct to me that you needed to have bigger events in order to make it aspirational. So we set up doing huge events on Prince Street Gardens 2012, and then since then I've done a series of events at the Usher Hall in Edinburgh. And with 2,600 people in attendance, there's boxers from every area in Edinburgh going to represent their communities. These are the biggest events in Edinburgh, out with football matches.
I kind of seen as the day was going on and building up to it, and the way he is behind the scenes with kind of what are all the professionals, the lighting guys, the cameramen, you know, the music coming in and going out and everything like that. And you kind of appear on the night and you just take for granted everything that actually goes on in the show.
What I'm doing is marrying the beautiful sport of amateur boxing in with alternative entertainment. There's no money that comes out. It's not about that. I'm a full-time volunteer for that, and I'll remain to be so. That sort of suits me, given my past and where I came from. That chasing money just led to problems for me in the past, and it's like I'm content and happy doing this now. Yeah. For me, it's to stand back there as it's in full swing, and then you see 2,500 Edinburgh people sitting and watching. They don't understand what's going on in the background. They don't understand the work and energy that's put in there. It doesn't matter, it's the end result. See someone like my wee nephew Jack, you know, 6 years old, yeah, and taking the, you know, just thriving off that. That's what's about for me. It's a formula that's some people have already tried to copy, and you know, I think that they'll find it quite impossible to do. Because when you start dotting the I's and crossing the T's and looking at the overheads for such a thing, it's not financially viable to do. It's only viable to do because I do the job, 6 people. Yeah, I do the job and I put the time and energy into the promotional side of it, you know, out there doing hard copy, the media, social media side of it. I call in a lot of favours for a lot of people, yeah, because I can do that because I do a lot to help other people. And then you want to charge people 10 quid a ticket or 15 quid a ticket. So, and I'll always keep that. It'll never be about, oh, we're going to go in and it's going to be it'll never be like that. It'll always to make it accessible. If we get Edinburgh Castle, it'll be 10 or 15 quid a ticket. You know, it's not about that. Wine gums, mate. This is what we use, this is what we're powered by, wine gums. 40,000 dirham.
Come out, right? Just get their address. So we've got.
Just put anything on, put your tunes on stuff. Boys and girls, shut up! I'm ready! Let's go, guys! Stop that jump. Put your hand on the chin, double it. Big 1, 2. Round number 1, 359 to go. Let's do it, guys. Just the same as I did an hour ago. Hi Auntie May, hi Auntie Karen, hi girls. Hiya, hiya. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'd like to make an appeal to you guys out there. Look in front of you, you'll find a netball with your table name on it. I'd like to ask you to assist us at Holloway Boxing Gymnasium in opening our new boxing gymnasium along the Gorgie Road. The gym is to use it as a platform for people for physical activity, for fitness, that's it. We've got amateur boxers, we've got kids, we've got guys that are turning professional, we've got keep fitters, and we're all the same. It's about using boxing as a medium of keep fit. Obviously I've got a part, we've got an event stream as well where we use amateur boxing sort of as you know, a platform for young athletes. But just tonight on a Monday we do a kids class, we do a beginners class, we have the boxers in. Who's one of the ugly boxers now actually? Hi Christian. Okay. Who are you mate?
No, the gym's definitely not exclusive to the boxers. Boxers are a nightmare.
In Edinburgh and through the UK, and certainly through the world from my experience, is a lot about boxers. And what happens there is you find a lot of enthusiasts that didn't know anything about boxing attaching themselves to the good boxer and saying, this is my boy, I made him, me and him. And I took that and turned it on its head. Our place was always about making everybody feel welcome.
I'd also gone to see the types of boxing fitness training classes that Bradley does at his gyms, and I was thoroughly impressed and inspired at just the range of people who participate, different age ranges, guys, girls, boys, you know, all ages, shapes and sizes were there training and having fun as well as getting fit.
Anybody can do this, whether you have experience or not, as Bradley will coach you through your...
What you will get is a very warm welcome, and you will be made it's a much warmer welcome that you'll get than you'll get in the sort of health clubs that you get around town.
Joyce, how old are you?
Eh?
How old are you?
58.
58?
58.
Like an 18-year-old princess. Screw it, go, you go guys, death jump!
I think that this idea that it's an intimidating place to come to because it has been predominantly a male domain, I must admit to being slightly more intimidated by women in lycra than I have ever been coming here.
I had a wee mentor, a wee chap called Benny McLean, who it's his ethos that I carry through to the Hollywood sort of model, yeah, which is now that Hollywood model is now going into other gymnasiums in Scotland as well. And that is, you know, to make everybody feel welcome. Not just the good boxer, not just the person that shows talent, but wee Benny always made everybody feel welcome and he made everybody feel the same, yeah?
What Brad's created, I think, with the Hollywood Gym is very much like a family. We're all very friendly, and that diverse range of people with all different ages, all different backgrounds, just all come together and work out and develop that camaraderie that you get.
What's it go, 21? And I said, God damn it. No, it's hard guys, I'm hard feeling it in my hands. And I'm trebling the amount of punches. Like the average does about 130, 140 punches. I'm only meant to be doing 50. So I guess I better slow that down, eh? what I mean? We're going to be hitting some serious barriers, guys. But I feel upper body, I'm strong. I'm strong in the upper body and stuff like that. And you just need to get through it and stop fucking remind me when the hours are. My little princess, Tiger Eva, is my 4-year-old daughter, who is the reason why I get up out my bed every morning and go and undertake all this stuff now here. And I think that you know, that all fathers feel like that for their kids, yeah. But Eva and my wee nephew Jack, as well as like my wee boy, they drive me forward. Yeah, sometimes I feel that, sometimes I feel a wee bit of regret that I'm going to get as much time to spend with Tiger Eva as I'd like, yeah.
Brad, you want to tell us why you're sitting down there?
Because I'm fucked. Cream egg biscuits, a wee bit of sugar, and a cup of tea. So every great war was won on, was tea.
Too much sugar.
It'd be great if doctors actually got cups of tea in the corner, eh? Oi, Manny Azzo.
Who am I kidding, eh?
We're going to attempt to set a Guinness World Record. The response has been decent, given that I've only had 2 weeks, you know. What I've done is went to book. That means that I've had to contact people that I know within the business community of Edinburgh.
I did get a lesson from Brad the week before, which then was used as publicity to try and get the word out.
I'm very mindful as well that people have got their own charity, especially big companies. They've got a social responsibility package that they have with certain charities, yeah, and that's fine.
Can I get my picture taken with you?
Yes, you can. But I believe that everybody can do their bit. Doesn't matter whether it's big or small, yeah?
I think knowing Brad for many years now, you see how selfless a person he actually is. I think, you know, whatever he put his mind to, he would go on and do very, very well. But Brad's not about a pound note. He's not about himself. He's about kind of helping others.
There's not going to be any money in running a boxing gym, mate. But it's not about that. If you're in it for running money, forget it. Get out of it quick. Yeah, but it's about if you're the kind of person that looks to give something back, and that's whatever the association's about, yeah, the board of directors that we have on that, they're all on because we're all like-minded. The like-mindedness is that we want to give something back, we want to create a better society.
You know, some of these areas, it's very easy for kids to fall off the rails a little bit, and I think the sport of boxing can give kids a focus, it can give them a sense of self-worth, self-importance, and self-discipline.
Now, look, I'm fucking serious when I say that. We want to create a better society because I've got kids going up in that. You know, and if there's an opportunity for people to participate in some sport, you know, and certainly marginalised areas, and it doesn't have to be in a Ireland, then that's what we're about, that's what's needed.
And I think that it's a noble cause that the charity has been set up to help these kids on our doorstep, and I take my hat off to Brad, the amount of time and effort that he puts in to making sure that these kids are given every opportunity if they want to grasp it, and as I say, I think it is a very worthy cause and I'm delighted to be a part of it.
It's called the Ali Graziano story, isn't it? The Ali Graziano story is about the bad boy turning good, and if you get young kids and you give them the opportunity to come in and train, that they won't go the path that the big brothers went on, they won't fall into the feel that, and I want to have got a strong desire to do something for the kids in Edinburgh, to give them opportunities, to inspire them and empower them. You know, and that just happens to be through a medium of boxing, but doing the events and creating opportunities for people to, you know, be at the Prince Street Gardens, be at Edinburgh Castle, be at the Usher Hall, you know, to be something. And that's why I'll never leave here. I've had opportunities to go through to Glasgow and the rest of Scotland to, you know, to do events, etc. And I've no desire to do that. I just feel that I'm best served being here with my people in Edinburgh. My hand's fucked with when you've got people that are not that versed in punching pads, like some of the businesses that I've engaged with us, after a sustained period of time. I've been going for 5 hours now, and they're twisting, so my hand's really badly, and it just takes wear and tear. I've strapped it up, we'll be good.
I think it's crazy. I mean, it's like he's pulled some way out stunts before, but this is right up there with the best of them. It's a mad thing to do. I mean, just a simple, your back to kind of the arm, just to keep your arms up for 24 hours would be almost impossible for me, basically. But all the lactic acids in your arms and all that sort of stuff, it's and the concentration levels and stuff like that required. It's absolutely phenomenal if he manages to do this. I'm sure he will, but I don't really still don't actually see how he can.
I get cabin fever if I'm sitting in the house for too long, just by myself. If I'm sitting in the room, or if I'm in a ring and I can't leave the ring, and someone's hitting me repeatedly, I go mental.
I think the idea of me failing to complete this and to achieve, the 360 rounds hasn't really entered my mind, really. Maybe I'm foolish in thinking that, but the way that it's set up is, that the way that I'm looking at, and it is ultimately about raising money for the kids of Edinburgh, that there's no way that I won't be able to do it. And I know that that's quite blasé, etc. of me, but it's the memory of my mum. There's no way that I'm going to do that. Should I collapse and fail and it doesn't happen, then there's not really much I can do about that. It's hard, mate. It's fucking hard to just strength my hands, throat. But that's it, it is what it is.
8 hours in, it didn't look like he wanted to be there anymore. It wasn't even halfway. It was taking his toll. His hands were in bits. He looked in pain. He didn't look happy. I've never seen him look so distraught. It was horrible. Just the mental toughness you have to do something like that. It would break anybody down.
Bradley was it looked like he was struggling, to be fair. It was what, 8 hours again of receiving punches to the hands. It looked like he was struggling, to be quite honest. And we were obviously, we're just looking on helpless at this point. You know what I mean? If anything, we're making it worse, going in and hitting him some more.
No, just my hands and my elbows. So what wear and tear there. Guinness World Record was set with a certain amount of punches per round. But just my style of doing pads is always hard work. And I find it very difficult to make it just between the 60 punches a round. I'm averaging 130, 140.
You're burning energy. To burn energy constantly for 24 hours without sleeping, I mean, God knows what must be happening to your body and your brain. I wouldn't even like to imagine the things he was thinking during that. Surprised there wasn't much swearing. I think that's probably because there was a camera there.
I had this constant battle inside my head of, you don't have to do this, you've done it already, there's enough money raised, we've done enough punches. And I've been there once before in my life, when the human spirit wants to give up, and there's one part of your probably left brain consciousness that's saying, don't just give up. So I'm doing double the work needed. I can't help it. But it's going to take its wear. It's going to, the next 4 or 5 hours, you've got to tell it's going to really fucking catch up. I've already done the record already once I get to the halfway mark. Because I'm only meant to do 60 punches a round or 50 punches a round. I'm averaging 130, some of them are 180 punches a round. I find it hard to keep slow, and I'm in pain.
I thought he was just going to go to 12 hours and just sack it, because it's a long time. It's a long time for anybody to do anything. I mean, imagine working 24 hours, constant 24 hours, no sleep, and it couldn't even eat. You had a minute rest in between each round. I mean, what can you eat? Sugary drinks?
I was hurting my arm, my finger, I couldn't feel either of my hands. That was 13 hours of catching shots, you know, and it was something that I never took into consideration, that I might actually, my hands might seize up. I mean, eventually I ballooned up to about double the size.
Did you do anything special?
Dad, Mum, brothers out.
So, your dad, your mum and your brothers went out and they left you with your auntie. Is that right? Wow. What sort of mischief did you and your auntie get up to? It was a night.
Wheelchair football.
We had to decide where we were going to proportion this money to, because there's so many needy causes out there. And along with Spy Fox, we were identified by Spy Fox that the sick kids needed machines called Toby eye gaze machines, which are machines that are used by young children who can't communicate with their families. You know, don't have the speech to do it, don't have the movement to be able to use computers. And a Toby eye gaze machine basically scans the retina of the eye and works out a system for them to use their eyes to communicate and actually basically talk to their families in some cases for the first time. And the minute I heard about it, I just thought that's for us. So we're attempting to buy 3 or 4 of these full-blown systems which can be used for kids to be trained up in the hospitals, and then ultimately they'll get passed on to some of the families as well.
I want to talk to you.
You want to talk to me? What do you want to talk about? Huh? What are we going to talk about? What are we going to talk about? You tell me. I know it's exciting. I want to hear what you have to say.
That my mum always taught me, that's don't look at what people have got, look at what people haven't got. And that keeps me really grounded and really levelled. I've never chased financial orientation to the extent of, you know, wanting, because I look and I see what people have not got.
My activities.
Your activities? Did you do something fun today? You did? Well, what activities did you do today? Tell me.
It breaks your heart to think I've got a little daughter, I've got nephews, that imagine a family having it. It's just, I can't comprehend it. You know, you're talking about me doing 24 hours of pads. What about these families that have got wee kids that, you know, that there's no way to communicate to them? Every day they get up and they dress them and they take care of them. You know, and to have that one moment that a Toby eye gaze machine can bring, where they can speak to their child and have their child respond to them, they people deserve the plaudits, not somebody like me.
From 2009 to March of last year, I chaired the charity of which I'm currently a trustee, which is called Spy Fox, which raises money every year for disabled, disadvantaged, underprivileged children in any and all facets of life. Bradley attended our December 2013 concert at the EICC.
Did you look pretty today?
That's pretty.
Oh, did you put on a dress? Yes? Was it a princess dress?
Bradley liked the concept of what we were doing, the fact that we have no overheads, all the trustees, of which we're 17, give their time, their effort, and indeed sometimes their cash voluntarily. And we raised £250,000 to £300,000 a year. Bradley was moved by what we did, and he came to see me after the concert, and then in January following, at 14, with the concept that he came up with, which was the Pads for Charity scheme, which is what we then ended up assisting Bradley in doing.
I am finished.
I know you want to be finished. Let's do just a few more minutes, okay? Just a few more minutes, and then we'll be finished.
Pads, training wise, I'll do that. You put a picture of my mum up on that wall and I'll start right now with your training and I'll do 24 hours. Especially for the nature of what it's for. My wee mum wouldn't have wanted me to just do this as a Guinness World Record for the sake of doing it. It means more to me to raise the money and to give something back to the kids of Edinburgh.
Once you get over the halfway point, I think I realised it was just that was it. It was the home stretch. It was kind of he's done it long enough now. You may as well finish it. You know, if you're going through hell, keep going.
It's hard work. Taking pads, even for an hour, is hard work. To do it for 24 hours is just an incredible feat.
How we got through that, I mean, I'll never know. You know, and some of the guys that were going in the ring with him, they weren't going in the ring kidding on. They were going in there and they were trying to take his hands off. And I think when that was happening, Brad being the way he is, he was responding to that and he was getting a bit of a lift, and it was almost like, right, come on, you know, let's get this done.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. I would do that, I would only do it again if I could I'd do it for 24 hours or 23 hours and 59 minutes. If I could get 1 minute with my wee mum.
So I think in all for the 24-hour marathon, Bradley raised in excess of £42,000, I think, was the fundraiser.
I just think it takes a special kind of effort from a kind of massive human being, and that's exactly what we witnessed during the Pads for Charity.
Anybody want to run the pads? Aye, me. Guys, listen to me, look, it was a very, very difficult thing today, guys. I didn't think I was going to get through it during the night. There's a lot of people to thank. A lot of boxers. So, thank you for your support. The most important thing about the whole thing, though, is we raise money for this charity, guys, to buy a Toby eye gaze machine. And I believe that we've done that. I think there's about £13,000 on the Just Giving page.
Could have probably kept going, actually, to be honest. When the sort of crowd was there, I mean, he was really going for it.
Thanks to you all, guys. I know if you've had your phone number, you probably be sick of fucking hearing from me. Alright, hounding you, but I'm unapologetic for that. Alright, we can all make a difference, guys. Doesn't take much, yeah? And again, I just want to thank you for doing that, guys, okay? Thanks. Cheers.
Angels are everywhere in the sky.
Angels are, and Granny's up in the sky, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And my mum's granddad was my granddad.
Yeah.
And your mum was my granny.
That's right. She was here today, she wasn't she? It's her anniversary today. It's her anniversary today. Isn't it?
Yeah.
We're going to get our flowers.
Can we get a flower?
That's so good of you. Thank you so much for that. I really, really wanted that. It's amazing. It's actually really good. I can't think there's enough for the help. Let's get up here because we were just fucking benching this. I think I'll put this on your head.
One lap with me, do it.
One lap with right. What ask me anything, bro? My wee mum will be, we can do this and she'll be happy the fact that, not that I set a Guinness World Record or done that, but that I raised money to help others. So.
Oh, damn it. Thank you.
Well, cheers. Thank you.